let's change it up a little bit. Let's get into the horror theme here because we're going to take a bite of horror fun. VampChat, Dan and Eva, the podcast dedicated to vampires, horror films, and all things undead in pop culture, will be heading to the Imaginarium main stage on July 19th.
No way!
Yeah.
Well, hosts Dan and Eva join us now to talk more about what fans can expect. Fans and me, I'm excited!
Yeah.
Tell me all about this. How can we enjoy everything on July 19th?
Oh, actually, the Imaginarium actually starts on the 18th, ends on the 20th, and on the 19th, the climax of the event, I guess you could say,
Yes.
we will be streaming live from the main stage at the Imaginarium, which is at the Holiday Inn Louisville East.
Yes.
Oh, so what can we expect from you all during that time?
Well, this opens up our season 3,
Okay.
so we're officially opening up the season. We're doing something totally new. It's completely live. We have an audience, so we're excited about that. There will be audience participation. We'll be interviewing 3 authors, but the main author that we're interviewing is author Heather Graham, best-selling author. She's written like over 200 books, 70 million copies in print.
Including some vampire novels.
Including some vampire
Okay.
novels, yes. She's amazing. She's absolutely amazing, and the Imaginarium is amazing. So, but yes, we are kicking off season 3 live at the Imaginarium. So it's going to be phenomenal, and we're excited, so excited about season 3. We've got some great authors lined up. We've got some great nonfiction professors.
The usual group of guests who specialize in the vampire fiction, but also the nonfiction folklore aspect of it as well. So we love that kind of thing.
Okay, well, explain to me what some of the, since this is, you're part of VampChat.
Yes.
What is some of the nonfiction folklore that goes along with it?
A lot of it has to do with so-called vampire panics, where in the 17th and 18th centuries, including in the United States, people started dying of what was then called consumption. We know now as
Yes.
tuberculosis. And they claimed, the people who were ill, lying in bed, delirious, would claim that they were being visited by recently deceased people who have family and friends who had died of the same thing. And so people would look at the graves of freshly dug, dug graves, and they would say, that one we think is suspicious, let's exhume it. So this went on. It started in Serbia and in Central Europe, but then moved to New England as well. There are several very famous cases, including up into the 1890s, of these vampire panics and exhumations in New England, Rhode Island, Connecticut, etc.
And the other thing is, across the world, all over the world, different cultures have different legends about different vampiric creatures. So there's the Manananggal in the Philippines. There's
Say that 10 times fast.
I know, right?
Manananggal. But all over the country, it's not just Romania and Transylvania. It's all over the world. All over the world, different cultures have different versions. So you got to kind of wonder, if it's sort of like kind of the ancient aliens theory. If little things are all over the place in different cultures, then how did this happen? Are they real?
Yeah, because the information is hard to transfer
Exactly.
over that kind of space, right?
Exactly. So it makes you think.
So how can we get tickets?
You can walk up the day of, but you can also get advance tickets at entertheimaginarium.com, and you can find out more information at vampchatwithdanandeva.com as well.
The other thing too is for season 3, we actually have a special episode where we are interviewing another produced podcast, and this podcast is covering the powers of darkness. Now, the powers of darkness, so when Dracula was originally written, it was translated into multiple languages. Well, it was translated into Icelandic, and that was back around 1903. Nobody realized until 2014 when somebody, I don't know why, but somebody decided to translate it back into English. Totally different novel. They don't know it's not the Dracula that we know. Now, mind you, this version of Dracula, The Powers of Darkness, has never been out of print. It's been in Iceland, so everybody in Iceland thinks that Dracula is this other version, while the rest of the world knows that it has the other version. So it's this giant literary mystery, and there's a podcast that's doing a 6-episode produced podcast just on this literary mystery, and we are going to be interviewing them. So that's going to be one of the very interesting. It's kind of rocked the literary world as far as in the the horror vampire.
Absolutely, yeah. It is
Genre.
the biggest literary mystery of our time,
Yes.
actually.
Yes.
It seems like it.
That is. It changes the whole idea. All right.
You know, so there's some serious sides to
there
vampirism.
really
It's not
is.
just all fun and horror.
Right.
You may have noticed that we're
Yes.
holding little blood bags.
Yes.
May we give these to you?
Yes.
VampChat. This is our VampChat swag, some of which we will have at our own table at the Imaginarium. We will
Yes.
have a table with our books and
You gotta have swag.
You gotta have that.
swag.
Oh, you do
gotta
have swag.
And blood bags. Come on.
We love it. All right, vampire.
A positive is your favorite.
That's it.
Yes.
It was
Yes.
delicious. It was delicious. Thank you all for
Thank
being
you
here.
both.
No problem.